Bum, 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 ba-da-dum. Bum, 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 ba-dum. Welcome to Finding Monster Rights.
The show about finding monsters, right?
Right.
Recording from inside a studio.
Yeah, this is in your new apartment.
Yeah, my new apartment building has a studio. I may come down here. My end of the audio is going to sound crystal clear in the fucking future.
Yeah, and mine will sound like it always does, which was perfect.
No, incorrect. Well, it's pretty good, but there was this weird interference where there's this guy talking.
Yeah, there was this guy that kept making all these weird sounds and lip smacks.
You know who makes sounds and lip smacks?
It's Gargoyles?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And specifically our episode is titled Gargoyles Gone Wild. What if the Gargoyles broke up?
Yeah, you were very happy with that pun.
Gargoyles Gone Wild. There's like an alternating stress pattern. Like, it's actually very nice.
Yeah, it's palindromic. It's wonderful.
It's not palindromic, isn't it? Because, like, it doesn't go the same way backwards and forwards. Gargoyles Gone Wild.
Yeah.
So it's repetitive. It's not the same backwards and forwards.
All
right. Not important. What is important is, despite the title, we're not going to sexualize the gargoyles too much, I hope.
I made no promises.
Fair enough. When did we switch dynamics?
The last episode.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, the Gargoyles, it was a kid's cartoon about these, what is it, stone by day, warriors by night?
Warriors by night.
Warriors, right.
Keith David does say warriors.
Yeah. You know what a gargoyle looks like. Your average gargoyle, but they're alive, though.
Yeah, they have wings and a tail and claws. And they're gargoyles. Yeah,
there's 6 of them. 7 if you count Demona.
There's a whole species of them.
Yes, and various episodes get into them. Mm-hmm. While you stayed at my place, we watched through the first season and like a bunch of episodes of the second one. I think we did 36 episodes in total.
Yeah, we got up to the Avalon arc, and then we finished that, and we were like, all right, I don't need to see them go on world tour. And that seems to be the consensus of the Gargoyles fandom, is like that's when it... Like, it got a little stupid then, and it got stupider, because it started out so strong.
Yes.
It's, like, I highly recommend just going on Disney Plus and, like, binging the first season. It's 13 episodes. Like, it's tight, it's solid, it's really good.
Yeah, they don't stray away from any, like, topics or episodes. It's real, it's gritty in the way that you want 90s to be.
Yeah.
It's melodramatic still, but it's still, we had some good laughs as well.
Also, Goliath, super hot in the pilot episode. Every subsequent episode, less hot.
Maybe you are keeping that, holding on to that trophy.
How do you mean?
This is your expertise, not mine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I see. The trophy is the monster fucking. Okay. Which of the gargoyles would you date? Let's talk about all of the gargoyle options here.
Okay.
Let's talk about the characters in the show.
So there's Goliath. Mm-hmm. He's big. He's Keith David.
Yep.
He's purple. He's got like a mullet.
Yep.
He's grandiose. He's very melodramatic.
He's the leader.
He's the leader. Yes.
Yeah.
And then there was I guess
Lexington is like a small kind of nerdy. Maybe like somewhat younger than the other gargoyles?
That's the vibe I got from him. There's the trio of them. Lexington's one of them.
Okay, wait. And Lexington is the one that does machines.
Of the gargoyles, he does the most machines.
Yeah.
He's the most tech savvy.
He's the one that's like, he's the one that picks up on like, that's not a dragon, that's a helicopter.
Yeah. We have Broadway after that. Mm-hmm. Broadway's first original joke was that he's fat and he likes eating food.
Yep. He
later branches off into, also voiced by the guy that voices Patrick.
Yeah. Bill Figurebacky.
And that's where his jokes start, but then he gets more introduced to pop culture of the real world. Mm-hmm. He likes detective type stuff.
He likes old movies. And he hates guns.
Is it big against guns? There's a gun episode in the first season that's real intense, like those 90s gun episodes are.
Yeah, no, like very intense anti-gun PSA, which was, I mean, like, Or it's like anti-playing with guns.
Right.
You know, hey kids, don't play with guns.
Guns are not a joke.
And also, hey parents, it's like, make sure kids can't play with guns.
That is the other half of the message.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the third one of the trio is Brooklyn.
Okay, that's confusing because there's 5 of them. Or 6.
I thought we were just zooming in on the trio part of them.
Okay, there's a trio and then there's like
the rest of the... Okay, that's fine. Brooklyn has a kind of a weird like pterodactyl-like maw.
He has a beak.
Yeah.
It's called a beak. You call it a weird pterodactyl-like maw. There's a word for it.
But he's got teeth in there.
He's got teeth in a beak like a merganser.
Yeah, throughout the show, we've debated what his role is in the party.
Yes, my take on him is that he is... okay. Goliath leads, Lexington does machines, Brooklyn's cool but rude, Broadway's a party dude.
Mm-hmm.
And Brooklyn is he's very charismatic. He's in some ways like second in command to Goliath, kind of.
Yes.
And he's the party warlock.
He does a little bit of everything.
He is kind of the face, like he's always the one doing like making intimidation checks on people. And we did not get to the part where eventually the gargoyles are like, the masquerade is over and the gargoyles are like interacting with people. But I feel like he is the face of the group, which is a weird role to have in a group that's super secretive, so we didn't really get to see a lot of it. Sure. You disagree and you think that it was instead nothing. You don't have a theory, you just hate mine.
Yeah, right. He drives a motorcycle once. I was more disappointed that they didn't give him something more obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that your theory is not incorrect. That could totally be what it is. It's just, they didn't do a good job showing that. Last in the talking gargoyles, there's Hudson.
Yep, Hudson's old.
He's old. He has a sword.
He's kind of continuing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing. It's like, Goliath leads, Lexington does machines. Brooklyn is cool but rude. Broadway is a party dude, and Hudson's old.
Yeah, that's his big feature, is that he's an old man.
Mm-hmm. He's old. He has a sword.
He used to lead the gargoyles, but now Goliath leads.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he is often seen sitting watching TV.
Yeah.
And finally, there's Bronx, who is there's a term for this later introduced in the series.
Yes, he is a Gargate.
A Gargate. The Pluto to Pluto is to Gargate as Goofy is to Gargoyle.
Yes. Yeah, he's a dog, basically.
He's a big old like pit bull like gargoyle.
He's a dog, but what if a dog but a gargoyle? And
they've got there's of course Demona as well, who's on the villain side.
Yes, Demona is was Goliath's mate, and then she made okay, let's talk about the premise of the show. 1,000
years ago.
Yes, 994 AD, 1,000 years before the present day that we all know. I am a pile of nutrients somewhere in southeastern Pennsylvania.
The gargoyles were on a Scottish castle, and they protected them, the people that lived there, until they were betrayed, and all their like brethren, when they were stoned during the day, were smashed up.
The gargoyles turn to stone during the day.
Yes, and they heal up all damage that they take.
And they heal up all the damage that they take, and they come to life at night. That's the conceit of the show.
They cannot fly.
They can't fly. They glide on currents of wind. But that's not a rule. Like,
they basically can use their wings to get anywhere.
They say that they can't fly and that they just glide, but then they do stuff that's like... Why didn't you just make them fly?
I think mainly because they wanted to see how cool it was when they climb up buildings.
994, Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
994 CE. They are betrayed, and because of a misunderstanding, they are frozen in stone for, instead of one night, they are frozen until the castle that they roost on, that they protect, rises above the clouds, which is a weirdly specific spell.
Yes, I think it was worded in a way to sound impossible, like this will never happen.
Yeah.
But it does happen in the year 1994.
Yes, 1,000 years later, which the curse doesn't last for 1,000 years. It just so happens that the terms of the curse are over 1,000 years later to the day. Who knows why?
Yeah, we're in David Xanatos, kind of like a multimillionaire, like, Musk-type figure.
Yeah, David Xanatos is a very rich guy who is super not evil, definitely not. And he buys the entire castle, which is now a ruin, and he moves it piece by piece to New York City, London Bridge style. Oh, and how come every time you come around, my London Bridge want to go down, like London is going down?
I apologize, sir. This was not my intention.
Don't worry, it's all according to plan.
Yeah, you may have seen the TV trope, Xanatos Gambit.
You may have seen the TV trope. Xanatos Gambit. Well, this is where it comes from.
Yeah.
I know you were wondering.
And also, something that took us way too long to realize is that, yes, it's David versus Goliath.
Yes. Right, David Xanatos versus Goliath. That's why he's called that.
Yeah.
And so David Xanatos takes the castle piece by piece to New York City, which contractually I have to pronounce thusly. New York City, baby.
They're going to say New York.
Why?
Why anything? We can rewind that back any minute of this podcast.
So David Xanatos takes the castle piece by piece to New York City, and he builds it on top of his skyscraper.
Thus, fulfilling the prophecy, moving the castle above the clouds, and thus the gargoyles are reawoken, and now they solve crimes in New York City.
Yes.
There's also Elisa, who is a human detective.
Elisa Maza Zoom Zoom.
Yeah, she is there to be a foil to help him out in some ways, to show him around the ropes.
She's there to be a Neil.
Yeah.
An April O'Neil.
And that's the dynamic of the show. Xanatos usually sends robots, or they got a whole little rogues gallery of people that can trouble them.
Yeah, they have the pack, which the only member of the pack that anyone should give a shit about winds up getting kind of hitched to the David Xanatos wagon.
Yes, Fox.
Yes. And
there's Macbeth.
Macbeth, yeah. From the historical king Macbeth. A lot of people don't know this. The Shakespeare character Macbeth from the play that's a history. That is based on a real king of Scotland named Macbeth. And so this is that guy. And
through a lot of things, he is also immortal and has lived to this day.
Yes, as has Demona. This is why I wanted to bring this up.
Okay.
Demona is the protagonist of the show Gargoyles. She helped the captain of the guard, who is only known by that title and never given a name. She helped him betray the castle. I'm blanking on the name of the castle.
Castle Wyvern.
Castle Wyvern.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she helped the captain of the guard, who was never given a name, betray the Castle Wyvern to the Vikings. Castle Wyvern?
Wyvern.
We've talked about this.
Yeah, I say Wyvern like Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah.
But that's wrong.
And I say Wyvern.
Yeah.
Because that's how I imagined it when I read Dragonology as a kid.
So, yeah, Castle Wyvern, she was behind that betrayal.
I think they say Wyvern in the show, actually. That's okay. But, yeah, so...
Nowadays, she...
Well, she also, at the same time Macbeth did, became immortal because of the intervention of the Weird Sisters, which are this, fae folk. The fae are also a thing in Gargoyles. There's humans, gargoyles, and fae. It's kind of a human, dwarf, elf kind of trifecta.
The longer the show goes on, the more they kind of add to the lore of it.
Yeah, I think we're a couple episodes away from meeting the Loch Ness Monster where we left off. Not a joke.
No, that tracks. That's fine. Well, you're about to explain, they go on a world tour and they meet different kinds of gargoyles and all that stuff.
But anyway, so Demona, she betrays the castle to the Vikings.
Yep.
And she comes back and she sees that everybody is stone by day, or stone by day and stone by night.
Yes.
She could only have observed that.
They're all stone.
Yes. And she is freaking out, why is this and everything, and she, learns kind of what's happened, the curse that they're under, and she assumes, because it's 994 Scotland, the castle's never going to rise above the clouds. That doesn't even make sense. How was that supposed to ever get broken?
Mm-hmm.
And so she just goes off and does her own thing for a while. Eventually she encounters Macbeth and becomes immortal due to the invention of the Weird Sisters.
Yep.
And so she is alive in the present day when the gargoyles reawaken.
And all that time, she's kind of changed her perspective and fallen out of love with the humans.
The humans.
Yes, she's no longer aligned with the gargoyles.
Which the humans in Scotland were very prejudiced against them.
Yes, worth mentioning. And it was a lot of them protecting their eggs that they had left and them trying to destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
So the humans trying to destroy the eggs of the gargoyles.
Yeah, so Damona's troubled.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets to the point where during City of Stone, where she does a whole, reversal and turns all the humans to stone through some insane means.
Yeah.
Which she's just, going around, making puns, smashing human people to death with a hammer in, revenge for what the Vikings did to her gargoyle clan. Because, the plan was never for the Vikings to destroy all the other gargoyles that lived at the Rookery, but they did.
Yeah.
And, God, we are so fucking higgledy-piggledy with this show, We are always, I'm always going, 3 steps back to continue, explaining something.
Well, I think we've recapped a healthy amount of gargoyles. Let's talk about our premise.
Okay, yeah.
So it's what if the gargoyles broke up? In the past, Damona kind of went her own way. She really Beyonce'd out of the gargoyles.
She did. And
what if the Destiny's Children, also, split up?
It got to the point where during that arc, she steals a bomb from Xanatos or something, and, they need the passcode from her. And the passcode is alone.
Because that's how she feels. She doesn't feel like she belongs anywhere.
She was just alone. Go ahead. Explain the premise. I'm going to be over here on the other side of the vocal booth.
So the show definitely focuses a lot more on, I'd say, Damona and Goliath down as things go along, and all these other ones like Hudson and the trio, the trio of Lexington, Broadway, and Brooklyn. They don't care that much about them. So I'm saying, what if they truly split up and did different stuff?
They do start really focusing on specifically Goliath.
I think they just love him in the writer's room.
Yeah. There's a couple episodes that are, just Goliath, and, they don't even bother mentioning the other gargoyles. And I'm I thought this was a team thing. Yeah. I thought this was an ensemble show.
And that's what inspires the breakup.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're I thought we were together.
Yeah, I thought we were a team.
So let's look at what each of them might be up to.
Yeah. So Goliath on his own, that's just regular gargoyles.
Yeah, we check.
Regular late season gargoyles. He just goes off and fucks Alicia, even though he could totally fix Damona if he wanted to, but he's a bitch and he won't.
Yeah, either that or he's going after Xanatos.
Xanatos,
why did you paint my toenails, Xanatos?
What?
He blames Xanatos for anything that happens to him.
Anything that happens to him, including if his toenails get painted, a problem that can happen, according to Adam.
There's someone stole all the money from the bank. Xanatos.
Goliath, he's a billionaire. Why would...
Someone is dropping a giant ball at midnight. Xanatos.
No, Goliath, that's just a thing that they do. Isn't there one episode where something happens and Xanatos is no, that can't be Goliath. No, it's not. No, that'd be crazy. Xanatos always knows what's up is the thing. No matter what happens over the course of the episode, the end of the episode is Owen going sir, something happened with the gargoyles, and then
sir, the gargoyles have found themselves their own house. They built it from the ground up. It's on top of your house. It makes yours look like shit.
All part of the plan, Owen. Relax. I prepared for this eventuality. Then he presses a button and a garage door opens up and there's a werewolf with a gun attached to its chest or some shit.
Excellent, sir. I suppose I will alert the kennel.
Good bit. So, what would happen if? I mean, Damona's already split off.
Yeah.
And what would happen if I fixed Damona? What would it take to get Demona back on the good side here?
1,000 years of happiness.
Huh.
1,000 years of strife is what got her this way.
Which, due to some weird, like, reverso adventure featuring Puck, also a fair folk based on the Shakespeare character, she is now gargoyle by night, human by day. And, like, it hurts to transform between the two, which is fucked up.
Yeah. And it's the last thing in the world that she wants.
Yeah. Because she wants to be like, I'm limited by the fact that I turn to stone at day. I want to be able to walk around and stuff during the day. And then Puck's like, okay, sure. And she's been an asshole.
Fucking do.
Yeah, she's been an asshole to him.
Hope you like being a human too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been an asshole to him, so he fucks her over like a genie.
Well, but not the biggest fuck over in the world, because he can just sleep as a human now.
Yeah.
She can just sleep as a human and she'll be fine.
Yeah, you can enjoy a bed instead of turning to stone.
Instead of striking a cool pose.
Yeah.
Which is what they always do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not worried about her. I feel like she's already been on her own for many hundreds of years.
Yeah, but how do we fix her? How does she get to be on the good side again? I think, I mean, what does she want? She's
the humans to die.
Okay, that's not gonna help. She's like, okay, it's like
you're trying to tackle the same struggle that Goliath and the Gargoyles did,
and they came to the conclusion that, like, no, she's evil now.
Well, they're like, she's evil, but she can change, but she doesn't. Is how it all comes down.
I don't know. I think.
Oh, you think down the line she might? In another season and a half?
Yeah, I think another season and a half, and like Demona would be back on the good, because like that's what people want to do in the fanfic all the time, and like her whole character is like subverting the idea of a redemption arc, which is a stupid thing to, because like what you're saying is like, a redemption arc, that's kid stuff. You know what's real? If things are shitty forever, welcome to 90s edgy. And it's like, that's not realistic. That's childish to think that redemption is impossible.
That's very...
To think that good and evil requiring redemption, like, what does redemption mean outside of a Judeo-Christian context, you know?
And arc is good storytelling. Being static is not.
Yes.
So I agree with that. I think
Demona's arc happened already.
In terms of a good redemption story, or even like a good like kind of X2 setup, the way that the bad guys and the good guys team up is there's a worse guy out there. Mm-hmm. There's a true villain that's like, you know, that it's better for them to team up to face.
Maybe there should be a true villain that both the humans and gargoyles have to fight, like aliens.
Yeah, a third party kind of enters the chat. Or the Fae.
There's probably some... You know, these weird sisters do kind of suck. They're really going around fucking with shit that shouldn't be fucked with.
Right. And if there's anyone that's both Demona and the Gargoyles hate, it's Fae creatures that get in trouble.
Not every Fae creature. But
every Fae.
Every Fae that they encounter, I suppose.
No, yeah. I don't know what Oberon's like when he shows up. Or like what his deal's gonna be. But, you know.
Didn't Oberon show up at the end of the Avalon arc? Wasn't that a thing?
That was...
Oh no, King Arthur came back to life? Like, funding that.
Yeah, no, he was back, and he was... I love that he was just his own dude.
Yeah.
He's like, I got my own great shit going on here. Basically like a quarterback of medieval times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, let's talk a little bit more about the leftover gargoyles. Mm-hmm. Bronx,
the dog.
Where we left off, Bronx saw like another one of the gar sites.
Gargates?
Gargates. He met another Gargate.
Oh yeah, he did.
He's good.
I don't know, maybe he has puppies.
Yeah, raises puppies.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then Brooklyn. Brooklyn, I feel like Brooklyn might go to...
crime.
Yeah, I was going to say Brooklyn might go to the dark side.
Oh,
but like...
There's an episode where Demona was very tempting him in the season 1.
Yeah.
And showing him like how lousy humans are. Like, look at all these people that they kill. And it's really Sataning him, his Jesus.
Yeah. It's very Temptation of Christ. Mm-hmm. Temptation of Brooklyn. What if Jesus had what if Jesus had a crazy pterodactyl maw? Hey, I saw a sparrow on the way over here, and I gotta say it had a crazy pterodactyl maw.
I stand by what I said.
It's a pretty unusual beak.
Because, like, the one time that he goes off on his own, same episode as this Demona one, it's he, like, gets a motorcycle fixed up and then, like, fucking, like, messes with, like, bikers.
Yeah, which, same thing with the, that's what I was saying with the intimidation checks. He's the warlock of the bunch, in the D&D party sense. Like, that's his character vibe.
Intimidation, right?
Intimidation or just, like, using charisma.
Okay.
He's charisma-based, so it makes sense for him to go over to the evil side, except for the fact that he just is, like, a character with realistic motivations. Like, yeah, humans do bad stuff, but also there's, like, innocence. And Demona's like, all the innocents should die because I'm being written by people that hate love.
One bad apple, ... Hey, Brooklyn.
I love it when people use that phrase, like, well, the police department was fucked up because of a couple bad apples, but we got rid of those bad apples, and so the bunch is totally fine and not spoiled now, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the saying.
We're A-okay with this bunch. The bunch is good to go. Yeah, let's see what else we have. There's, okay, so...
So, Brooklyn might go to the dark side, except I think he just goes to the edgy side. It's a little Deadpool, except he's not as funny. And that's a low bar with Deadpool.
Yeah, he's a less funny Deadpool. I could see him, like, riding with that motorcycle gang.
I'm sure if Deadpool were here, he'd be like, I'll show you my low bar, chimichangas. And then he'll go off and want to fuck Spider-Man. And everybody on Tumblr will be like, shipping Deadpool and Spider-Man. And I'll be like, is this okay? And then people will be like, well, Spider-Man turns into an adult at some point. And I'm like, all right, I guess. But, like, that's not how I think of it, really. And also, like... Really?
My question's more, is Spider-Man down for this?
I don't think so at all.
I think the point of Deadpool is most people aren't down for this.
I don't really understand MLM ships that much. I'll say this now. I'm sorry, folks. But, like most MLM ships that I see, not like if I see a gay couple of men in real life. Like, that's just like, okay, I get that, yeah.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
But, like, I don't...
There's only one MLM in my life, and that's David and Goliath.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, David Xanatos and Goliath are absolutely, like, I think if Goliath goes off on his own, like, on his own, like, if Alicia goes on her own, then that's just like she's a cop again.
Yeah.
If Goliath goes on his own, I think he might try to hook up with Xanatos. And Xanatos will be, like, all part of the plan.
Well, that's why Xanatos, like, you highlighted this line when we saw it, when he's, like, proposing to Fox.
Yeah.
He says, like, we are genetically compatible, and you're like, that doesn't feel right. It feels like eugenics.
Yeah.
I think that's more of him shooting down Goliath's DMs. He's like, no, you and me, we're genetically compatible.
We're genetically incompatible?
I don't want this I want this gargoyle dude. You and me, this is gonna work.
There's an episode where Fox starts turning into a werewolf or a werefox, possibly.
Yes.
And he keeps going through, like, all right, plan A didn't work. We'll have to move on to plan B. And, like, that's the sort of thing he says all the time. And then, like, plan B doesn't work. So it's like, all right, we'll move on to plan C. And then he gets up to, like, all right, it's time for plan G. And plan G is, like, calling Goliath and saying, like, hey, can you help with this? And then, like, Goliath says something to the tune of, like, no. And then, like, Owen and Xanatos walk off. And Xanatos is like, well... Don't worry, Owen. Goliath saying no was exactly a part of my plan. And Goliath just, like, jumps down, revealing that he hasn't left yet. And he was listening to the whole thing and be like, Xanatos, admit to me that you don't have a plan. You're right, I don't have a plan. My wife is in danger, Goliath. Can you please help me? That's all you needed to say. Okay, good.
Yeah, it works out really well. I'll bring the champagne, sir. All right.
Xanatos.
Let's see. Lexington
going off can just, like, start Facebook.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's 94 for them. And he's young. He can just hang out, live his regular life, and just have an online persona.
Yeah.
Like, he can fucking VTube, he can stream, he can do whatever. No,
I'm thinking tech bro. I'm thinking Silicon Valley startup. I'm thinking, like, get in on the .com bubble.
Yeah, in that case, then yeah, even before then. He I guess what I'm saying is that being a gargoyle isn't going to retract from that.
No.
He can still, operate in his kind of independent way.
I think it's much easier if they break up after the masquerade ends.
Yeah. So
I think if the masquerade's on, it makes more sense for them all to stay together.
Yeah, and he's got a real, he's really freeform, can do what he wants. He's got his whole life ahead of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So easy check out. His only problem is that his burning resentment for the pack.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to give him something to do in one episode later on when the pack is a group of animal named performers / fighters.
Yeah, and they're actors that play a superhero team on TV, but also they have superpowers in real life. But
yeah, it's fake, and that was an early premise, but they also are real spies and stuff.
Yeah.
But he hates their guts, so...
Yeah. I think he would just, get so good at technology that eventually he would be able to just, shut down all their extra, tech powers remotely.
Yeah, either that or he makes a competing television show to kind of run them out of the market.
It's called the Puck. The Puck. And Puck is the star.
Puck is the star, and he also, it's like Mighty Ducks.
The post-masquerade world... people want to tune in and see, all right, what's this magic stuff about?
Yeah, I think you're going to run into a lot of problem with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, Broadway.
Broadway spinning off. I think he tries to do the same thing that the Gargoyles already do, and, he does a pretty good job of it.
Just fighting crime solo.
Yeah.
Basically goes, full Nightwing, I guess.
I think he might still team up with Alicia, insisting on being her part. Maybe he becomes a cop.
Officially.
Yeah, he just... No, it turns into,
Yeah, it turns into Brights.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
and Alicia's Will Smith.
He's the weird one on the force.
Mm.
And, they can get into all kinds...
Which, I want to clarify. In the 90s, that's wholesome. I mean, it's not. But, it is seen as... Okay.
All right, and following that just leaves Hudson.
Yeah, Hudson just keeps watching TV.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing anything right now to begin with.
No.
Yeah. So Hudson, I mean, does he need a
I'm old.
Yeah, does he need a ramp down plan?
I'm the only gargoyle with a Scottish accent, don't you know?
We broke up, I didn't notice. It wasn't on the television.
I'm just watching television while Bronx plays with his puppies.
Yeah, he's fine. He'll just be a dog sitter.
He's the only gargoyle with a Scottish accent because, the young gargoyles all have an American accent because, really thick English accents are old-fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
In this sense, or British accents are old-fashioned. And so, the old versus the new, so the old one's the only one with an accent. That's a trope, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I'm thinking of is, that solves where the gargoyles go,
Yeah, but I have a different idea.
Okay.
So, I just moved to Philly, properly speaking. Back to Philly, I should say. And what if the gargoyles woke up... What if a Vikings attacked a castle in 1022, and you're a gargoyle?
Hang on, what if it was just 1,030 years? I think that make things a little cleaner.
No.
Okay, because then, the eggs that they had at the time would have hatched.
Okay, no. Wipe the slate clean.
Okay.
Reboot.
Okay,
reboot. The Vikings attack a castle in Scotland in 1022 CE, or AD. And you are a gargoyle. You get frozen in the curse. And in 2022, you wake up in Philadelphia because the castle rose above the clouds, or maybe something else happened.
Mm-hmm.
Some other weird, literal, curse-breaking thing happened. What is your Philadelphia gargoyle name? You can choose from Judeo-Christian mythology or a landmark in the city.
Probably going to go with a landmark in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I'm staking a claim on Fairmount. I think that's a good gargoyle name.
It's very solid. I can't... Fishtown's not cool, right?
Fishtown is not cool.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I was thinking about... So, Hudson's named after the Hudson River in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And only in New York City is where that's the only place where the Hudson River is. Yeah. And it's not a whole river. And so Philadelphia has two big rivers coming in, the Schuylkill River and the Delaware River. The Schuylkill River is much harder to say. My thought was that, the Hudson gargoyle that ends up being named after a river would pick Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
but also Hudson can't read. He wouldn't realize that Schuylkill is really hard to spell.
Yeah, so you just...
Really quick. Spell Schuylkill right now.
S-C-H-Y-K-Y...
Nope.
K-L-L?
Nope. You missed a U.
Oh. K-U-L-L?
Nope. S-C-H-U-Y-K-I-L-L. That could be wrong. The Y and the U might be switched.
S-C-H-U-Y-L kill.
L? There's an L before the kill?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's tough. I think we both did very well on a country average.
We've both lived here for almost 30 years.
Yeah, right.
And we still don't know how to spell this damn word. It's Dutch or something.
I was listening to an audiobook in the Passage trilogy, and like at one point they mentioned that it's a like urban fantasy type thing, mm-hmm. And there's like the audiobook narrator's like, and they travel to the Schuylkill River, and we're like, yeah, nice. Just took me right out of the story.
No, that was a fun thing back in September when there was all that flooding in Pennsylvania that I got stuck in.
Yeah.
And I think we tweeted about that. Mm-hmm. And I saw people tweeting, like, the thing I'm most excited for is seeing, like, news anchors around the country trying to pronounce Schuylkill.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. I'm thinking here, fucking Manayunk.
Manayunk's
Manayunk's a pretty cool gargoyle.
That's a cool gargoyle name.
Yeah, I'll stick with Manayunk.
Okay. Manayunk and Fairmount.
That's a really good gargoyle pair.
Yeah. Okay. Can we think of, like, I think Delaware is that's a stupid name for gargoyle in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
It's like, that's already the name of another place.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. You can't call one Center City.
No.
After Independence Hall.
Yes.
The name Independence, you were saying that one?
Yeah. Independent. Imagine getting your ass kicked by a gargoyle named Independence. You would never recover.
Mm-hmm. Or just fucking Liberty.
Liberty. Fuck. Oh my god, yes.
That's a really good tag team, Independence and Liberty. Just whooping ass.
Well, there has to be a third one called Virtue, then.
Oh, yeah, true.
After the state motto, it's on the flag, Virtue, Liberty, and Independence. Ordinarily, I don't like when there's words on a flag, and in this case, I still don't.
I think you need to get on, get in on flag talk.
Yes.
Because you've been discussing this plan of reviewing every flag there is.
Yeah, no, honestly, like, fuck most state flags. Even my own state flag, even Pennsylvania's flag is like, there's horsies on it, and that's pretty tight. But, like, I maintain that Pennsylvania is the best of, like, the lower half of flags. Like, it's number 26 on my rankings. But, like, a state flag like Arizona, kick-ass state flag. New Mexico's might be the best in the whole country. Alaska's pretty good. California's no. I don't like California. People like California. I don't. Maryland is, like...
Well, let's not go full visual with with our audio podcasts.
Okay, but, like, for flag nerds, like, that is a huge cliffhanger. So, yeah, no, definitely come on. I'll set up a YouTube and review every state flag.
Yeah, so some other pluses of the gargoyles living in Philly. Mm-hmm. They in the show, instead of finding a bunch of New York places, they do find a lot of Philadelphia places. Oh
yeah. The Art Museum.
Yeah, that'd be awesome for like a smackdown.
Art Museum is an awesome place for a gargoyle fight.
Constitution Center.
Yeah.
Of course, the Liberty Bell will be in the background of one fight.
Ooh, yes.
They'll probably use it. They'll probably make the crackle slightly larger. You know how they do.
Mm-hmm.
Then
the Navy Yard. Oh my gosh.
Navy Yard's perfect.
I work in the biotech district of Philadelphia, I'll have you know.
Ooh.
Philadelphia is an emerging biotechnology hub.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's perfect for all the genetic, who's he fucking what's it's going on in gargoyles.
Oh, yeah. You're probably going to see, like, twice as many cat people.
Oh, yeah. Putting out fire with gasoline, baby.
I think it's a good pairing.
Yeah.
I see. There's another failed premise for this episode that, like, I answered very quickly. That I said, like, well, let's not do that. Which is, where were the gargoyles during 9/11?
Where were the gargoyles during 9/11?
And the obvious answer is they were turned into stone. because 9/11 happened during the daytime.
I'm so glad that there's an out. I'm so glad we had an out.
Yeah, we didn't have to.
Otherwise, I would just like losing my mind of like, sir, some of the passengers hijacked one of the planes and have crashed it in a field in Pennsylvania. Perfect, all according to plan. What?
I had family on that plane, sir.
Oh,
the whole country mourns.
That's... Yeah, okay, too real. But David Xanatos did 9/11. That's our big take. That's canon. Forget that we ever thought of doing what did the Gargoyles do during 9/11, but remember that David Xanatos canonically definitely did 9/11 for some reason.
Xanatos!
It's very fucked up.
Yeah.
And that's why that was in our episode.
I
do want to say, there is one Gargoyles Phillies connection that I know about. Are you familiar with the Billy Penn curse?
I am not.
So, William Penn, the founder of Pennsylvania, his statue is on top of City Hall.
Yeah, he's with the Penn in Pennsylvania.
Not true.
His sons are the Penns in Pennsylvania.
His dad is the Penn in Pennsylvania. He wanted to call it Sylvania, which is Greek for woods, and then King Charles or whoever, I forget, was it King James or Charles? I don't know. We declared independence. I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Correct.
But the king was all like, all right, I'm giving this to you because your dad was so good at war, so we're going to call it Pennsylvania after your dad. Is that okay? And William Penn was like, I guess I can't say no because you're the king, but, like, everybody's going to think I named it after myself. Not my fucking business, Steez. Okay, goodbye. Have fun in the new world, Quaker boy.
In 300 years, no one will think that.
While recording a Gargoyles episode.
Gargoyles who have been stoned for the past 1,300 years.
Okay.
300 years, okay.
Yeah. So, right. So, William Penn statue is on top of City Hall. And...
Until Macbeth swings by and like shoots it down.
Stop.
At least has to push people away.
Stop. So, William Penn statue is on top of City Hall. And famously, he's supposed to have said, and I don't think this is true, like, hey, if anybody ever builds a building taller than my statue, bad things will happen. And then they did that when they started building skyscrapers back in old-timey times. Not as old-timey times. And then no sports team in Philadelphia ever won a national championship. So then when Comcast, the David Xanatos of real life, came in and built a giant fucking tower in the middle of Philadelphia. And look, I'm not really a Philadelphian until I say this. Fuck Comcast. Okay. Ceterum sensu, Comcast delenda est.
I'm sorry, sir. Do you want the $80 a month package or the $79.95 a month package? Those are our only offers. I'm sorry. You didn't answer in time.
Oh, my God.
It's now $93 a month.
Owen, I gotta say, this fucking sucks. I know I'm an evil billionaire, but this sucks, Owen. They have a very much Mr. Burns Smithers vibe going on.
Yes, they do.
So, Comcast built a big fucking tower, and they put, like... I think, I don't know if Comcast decided to do this or if it was like one person just doing a construction job. But while they were building it, they knew this is going to be the tallest building in Philadelphia. So they put a little statue of William Penn at the very top of the roof.
I was going to say, I'm surprised they didn't do like the Xanatos thing. And,
did.
They did the Xanatos.
And then that year, the Phillies won the World Series in 2008.
Well, there you go.
And the curse was Philadelphia actually did break a curse with building heights.
Yeah, no, that's pretty great. That said, I don't know if that's the bad stuff William Penn decided.
Yeah.
Like, you think his curse was very, like, sports-centric?
No, I don't think he knew about sports.
What a sports was.
Everything I know about William Penn, like, as far as colonial founders go, he was actually pretty cool to, like, the natives and stuff, and then his sons kind of ruined it and all with the walking purchase and other such atrocities. Friends of the show, the Lenape.
Fiends of the show?
No. No. Fiends of the Show is for monsters, and I think monsters only.
Okay, Friends of the Show.
I think Friends of the Show is for well, that gets squirrely because, like, a lot of the monsters that we do on the show end up being good guys by the end. Except Nimona. Fuck, we didn't go back to her. But
no. Yeah, I see what you're saying about William Penn.
William Penn's a nice guy.
Yeah.
For a 1682 colonial governor. He was pretty solid. I don't see him going like, my building needs to be the tallest. Like, I don't think that's him.
No, who put a 140-year curse on the city just cuz.
140? No, longer than that. 1682 and 2008.
Oh, I'm sorry, 440?
Yeah. The only 400-year curse in this country
340
is racism.
So that's anything left with the gargoyles? 7 gargoyles, therapy animal needs therapy.
Needs therapy. Fix Demona.
That's good. Hudson's definitely a therapist, though.
No. Hudson is old. He needs hospice.
I guess that counts. He has a lot of PTSD, too.
Hudson needs therapy. They all need therapy.
What about Bronx?
Bronx is a dog. I mean, I guess he needs therapy because he is kind of an attack dog, right? Is that therapy? Does that count?
I don't know if you could be trained to not be an attack dog anymore.
Mm.
Well, okay. Let's take the gargoyles to the final rating place.
No, we got to fix Demona.
How? Let's do a little monster rehab with Demona.
Yes.
What job would best suit her anger towards humans? A lot of humans hate humans.
President. President of the United States of America, baby. First gargoyle president, first woman president, first blue president. Yes.
Well, how does that fix things?
Okay. What do you have to do? You have to hate people. Done. Yes. You have to... Think about it. She wouldn't be the worst one we've had.
No.
She can't be.
She wants to kill all the humans, which I think is bad for when it comes to like fossil fuel contracts and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I think she would do it in a... I think it would be like, hey, can we have a fossil fuel contract? She'd be like, no, fuck you.
She supports the military-industrial complex. She's the only gargoyle that's pro-guns. That's pro-laser guns.
Maybe giving Demona more power was a bad idea. I think I might be a 90s cartoon villain.
Excuse me, ma'am. Where should I put the giant order of weapons?
Give them to me.
Okay.
And then
I should have seen this coming. My family will hate this.
Owen does not have a family. What are you talking about?
I think he... Whatever he does for Xanatos, like fucking dipping his hand into making it stone for a moment, apparently. Yeah. I always think it's funny in the context that he has to go home to like a wife and kids. That he's just there like weird hours of the night. Like, oh, I have to act. Sorry, honey, I have to go activate the castle lasers. You work too much.
We're Owen.
That's the other MLM that I ship of gargoyles.
Yeah, Owen and Xanatos.
Yeah, they got something going on.
No, I'm sure there's some pretty interesting fan art of Xanatos, Fox, and Owen, I will say. Oh,
is Owen watching from the closets?
No.
Good.
No, it's very much like... Never mind. But, well, it's very much like, come play with us, Owen. Like, that's, like, it's good.
Okay.
10 out of 10. Well, Demona, though.
Job for Demona.
Look, this is the vibe of the Gargoyles fandom, is like, there are people that, like people are divided in, like, it's refreshing not to see a redemption arc, because that's not realistic. And then there's people that are like, no, how do we fix Demona?
I'm familiar with controversial characters in 90s media.
Yeah.
Have you heard the debate on Angelica? Some people really pro, some people really against.
No, she's a child. She's not accountable for her own actions.
Let's see. Jobs where you hate people. Customer service.
I feel like that's a bad plan. I feel like it's a bad plan to make Demona hate people more. I don't think we can shoot the moon, which is always full.
However, a place where she doesn't like being alone.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she hates being alone.
So that it would not work out if she literally shot the moon and was like an astronaut or something. So let's see.
It just occurred to me that Demona's a couple steps away from Killmonger.
Very close, yes. You think? Wait a second. I mean, let's. If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. Why don't we make her just like a straight up assassin?
I don't think that's a good idea. I mean,
that way the people that she's hired to kill.
Demona's smart though, And I think she's too, like, grandiose, too melodramatic to, like... She would feel like she's being a henchman if she gets hired to kill people.
So she is more independent then.
She has to be the mastermind. Or, like, one of two masterminds, because sometimes she hangs out with Xanatos.
Sometimes she's hanging with Macbeth, too.
I wish that Xanatos and Demona were, like, better friends, because I really enjoyed the idea of, like, Demona just, like, flying to Xanatos' castle for, like, you know, like, board game night.
Yeah, them hanging out playing chess.
Yeah, no. Chess, but also, like, Monopoly. Which Xanatos would be like, I keep every edition of Monopoly in this closet, in case I ever need one.
Yeah.
Also, I'm a billionaire, so it's ironic, I think.
Why did the humans make this game?
To make people angry.
It's about the flaws of capitalism, or as I call them, the benefits.
If someone is angry, they show you your true form, or whatever.
Sir, this was supposed to be pot cheesy night. I canceled plans with my children.
You were going to play Parcheesi with your children, Owen? Simona's just like, whoa, hold up, you have kids?
Oh, why, yes. I have to. That's enough, Owen.
Simona just, like, flying into, like, Xanatos' window, just being like, David, I'm bored. David, do you have anybody I can shoot a laser rifle at? Like, I mean, I could do that myself, but also, like, I thought you might want in. Xanatos is like, I have to sleep sometimes. No one sleeps on Gargoyles.
All right, hear me out. The Olympics.
Okay.
But, like, the edgy 90s futuristic Olympics.
Ooh.
Instead of, like, archery and stuff like that. And she might actually be okay at archery. She's from old-timey times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's competing with humans and showing that she's better than them. So that checks boxes for her. And it gives her a position of power when she does, like, really well.
Yeah. But also I feel like as a gargoyle...
I didn't say she was a gargoyle.
Well,
the Olympics during the day.
Well, I mean, what if the event is scheduled for night?
That's a very specific problem here. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she shows that she's better than humans.
That's not good enough, though.
All right, what do you posit?
Pope.
Again, these are... Like, you want to give her so much power, but all she wants to do is kill all the humans.
I think we have her start a religion. Like, okay, gargoyles are so much better than humans, or like humans suck so much. Okay, improve humans then. Don't kill all humans, improve them. Figure out how to turn her perspective from humans don't suck. What are you talking about, Demona? You're crazy, you're bad, you should be alone. To, you know what, Demona? Humans do suck, because we do.
Yeah.
Like, so let's fix humans. I think sending her on that path would send her on a, like, you know...
And your tool to fix humans is religion.
It could be a religion, like a mass movement, like something ethical. Like, you know, become the shepherd, control the sheep.
Okay, you're talking about...
Pay a man enough and he'll walk barefoot into hell.
You're thinking like she starts like a big, like, food drive.
No.
You're thinking about she starts like a big, like, recycling push.
I'm talking about she says, hey, I turn into a demon. The devil's real. Worship me or some shit. And starts bringing about the damn end times. Maybe a genetically engineered beast with like 7 leopard heads or whatever the fuck. Enact revelation. Call God's bluff. That's... Oh fuck, I'm a 90s cartoon villain.
Yeah, I think so. Again, you're adding fuel to this fire. That's not helping out fix Demona. And I think we are gonna have to leave Demona in the same state that the show left her, where it's like where people are debating whether or not she can be redeemed.
The fire will burn regardless of who provides the fuel.
Is that a yes or no to s'mores this weekend? All right, let's take out the Gargoyles with the final rating, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where do you rank the Gargoyles? So you've seen a healthy chunk of the episode.
7 to 10 jalapenos.
Yeah, I'm giving them a full-on 9.
Really solid start. Good moments in season 2. We did not like, the good moments ended up being few enough and far enough between that, like, we just did not continue.
Yeah, there's a time where you tap out, but for what I saw, and as a premise as a whole, like I love that '90s era of just like whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
yeah, sure. They're purple and they climb and they can't fly and they're half this, half that. It's got all my favorite elements that any series does. So as a monster, I think they're pretty good. They have to get the dynamic downs a little bit. Dynamic down.
Yeah,
the team aspect was what's missing.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Very true. And Brooklyn was...
He's just I'm not saying, like...
Brooklyn's kind of weak. Honestly, the first couple episodes of season 1, like the first half of season 1 even, I was like, what's the difference between these three?
Exactly, yeah. And even the differences aren't, like, good.
No, it doesn't
It's like, oh, man, I really need a sandwich right now. Okay, Broadway, we get it.
Yeah, no, it's all like, it's like Broadway is fat. That's the joke. Mm-hmm. It's not very cool.
Yeah. So I think my final rating is going to end up being for the Gargoyles as a whole, like a 7.9.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Very close to 8 of 10. Your perennial rating. We call the segment 8 of 10.
So those are the Gargoyles.
Yeah.
Next week we'll explore a different team that might work out better together. That transforms into other things than just stone.
It doesn't work out.
No.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts because that's how people find us. Music by Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com. If you are a gargoyle, tell us. And help us with some gargoyle Philly names. We came up with 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, add some. Send yours to Twitter at Monster Right Pod.
Yeah, at Monster Right Pod. Come up with some for your own city if you want.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Hey, let's start a trend.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Come up with a list of gargoyle. We will come up with a list of gargoyle names for every city in America. And also maybe some some Judeo-Christian names in there like Goliath or Demona.
Yeah. And so until then.
Yep, until then.
Until we live again.
Until we live again.